people are always asking, what's the next big thing? And I do believe that these SBTs are going to have some very creative dApps built around them, and it's going to be interesting.
Cryptoslo, cryptocurrency news and investing.
Cryptoslo with more crypto gains. What's going on, guys? So I've got a very cool thing to talk about today, and that is SBTs, soul-bound tokens. And you're like, what are soul-bound tokens? So I just want to briefly talk about what they are, what they'll do, and how this could be the next big thing in smart contracts. Okay, so these SBTs are going to be available supposedly on Ethereum by the end of 2022. And these are a special type of token. In essence, what an SBT is a non-transferable NFT. Okay, so let me repeat. A non-transferable NFT. So if you're not familiar with an NFT is basically a digitally printed item that is supposed to be unique. It can prove ownership. It can represent art. It could represent things in real life. Now, what's cool about these SBTs are they are NFTs that basically an NFT is a token, in essence, behind it. It's a contract that once sent to you, you cannot transfer them. Okay, number one. So let's talk about use cases. So let's say you go to college and you get a degree. You could be issued an SBT, a non-transferable copy of your diploma, to your wallet, and it's not transferable. So it would prove that you had the college degree, but you couldn't sell it, you couldn't move it. Its destination is singular. Okay, that's one use. Number two, they could be used in DAOs, okay, because you know how people spoof DAOs, or basically there's bad actors. Use SBTs to build up reputation. And you're like, what do you mean? So let's say that you've done 5 good acts on a DeFi platform. They could issue you an SBT that means that you're a good steward of the project, so that when it goes to vote in the DAO, it can make the DAOs more secure. Okay, the SBTs could be used as another use case would be like your social credit for lending. What do you mean by that? So basically your credit worthiness could be determined by the SBTs that you hold in your wallet. So basically you could, let's say that you had proof of payment. Let's say that you made some loans, you pay them back. You could get an SBT that would represent the debt, but then you could also get an SBT that represents that you paid it off. Now, let's talk about some of the features of the SBT. One of the big features is that it could be revocable. So the person issuing the SBT could make it so that it could be revoked. So let's say that you took out a loan, and then you get an SBT which represents the debt. Once it's paid off, they could remove that SBT and send you another SBT that would be proof of payment. So there's all kinds of very interesting things. Now, someone's like, well, what are some of the problems and challenges? Number one, the SBT, what if you lost your key to your wallet? And you're like, oh, I just lost my diploma. Well, the cool thing is you could have guardians. So other members that are close with trust based on the SBTs that they own, they could actually help you recover your keys. So this is very interesting in the sense that they would reissue the SBT, and you would on a new wallet with your keys, that you had your keys to. So definitely very interesting. I dug into this. It's 37 pages, but lending, ecosystems, it's very, very interesting. Social collateral. Let's say that you attended an event. You could get an SBT that you attended the event. This could be used for whitelisting. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. And as always, we had DeFi summer and last year, and people are always asking, what's the next big thing? And I do believe that these SBTs are going to have some very creative dApps built around them, and it's going to be interesting. Now, as far as mooning, Vitalik was actually part of this. They really don't see this taking off until the next bull cycle, so maybe 2024. But who knows? We could have a little mini thing as people build things out using these SBTs. But the goal of this video was just to expose this to you. And, that's the thing about DeFi. A lot of things in DeFi have been done, and there's just a lot of cloning and forking going on. But when I see something that is unique and new to the space, I do like to bring it out to my community. So I'll leave a link down to this white paper, but this is very, very cool. As like I said, they're talking about replacing the credit system, all kinds of stuff. Now, on the flip side to this, I do see this is just like tokenizing real world assets. Regulation could be a problem. Obviously, as always, I think a lot of this will begin in an unregulated space, but the one thing that hinders a lot of stuff like this is the lack of regulation. And then I'm sure there'll be all kinds of new scams that evolve out of this. As with anything, there's always the evil side of it. But tying real world stuff to it could take some time. As we've talked about how the stock market could be tokenized, and it's just a very slow process. The stock market is very, very dated. They just, it would be nice if you knew there was X amount of Apple shares and you could actually look at the holder list, and there wouldn't be any way to cheat the system. But we'll see. Tokenizing assets is very interesting. Ravencoin was trying to do that a long time ago. You can see this used as identity for KYC. I mean, there's an unlimited, so basically the issuing agent could issue you an ID that would be non-spoofable. So it'd be very, very interesting to see how this plays out. But I'm going to keep my eyes open for projects related to this, because I do think some of these will be gems. And as with always, a lot of people, when something new comes out, they don't understand the technology, and then you miss out on a really big opportunity to get some gains. But this just goes on to a bazillion different things that these could be used for. And like I said, it's going to be very, very interesting. So hope you liked today's video. Like, subscribe, and as always, this is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.